No worries. We'll cop into it, eh? Thoroughbreds, welcome back to Penalty Broncos. We're the best Broncos podcast that we listen to. We're here to give you the best professional amateur opinions on the Broncos men and women. I'm coming to you from the Bandwagon Bar here in Brisbane. Today we've got a bit of chat about the men's final games. We've obviously got the preview and the review of the women's games that's going on, rolling into the last round. What else we got? A bit of tipping. A bit of general league chat, and we'll try and pick some winners at the end there. Try and romp in a couple of green ticks, but and as always, we've got the Gronk here with a little bit of a segment midway through. But before I throw to you, Ringer, mate, I just wanna cheers you, mate. I just cracked a coldie. It's a bit cool down here, but I'm in the mood for it. So, how are you been? Obviously, sorry for everyone who is watching. And not just listening. Langers isn't here. Old Uncle Elon isn't coming through with the goods with the coverage up there where he is. So he's going to have to miss this episode. But we'll do the tough carry and we'll get us out of here all right, I reckon. How you going, Ringer?
Britto, love to see you cracking one, mate. I've actually already got it cracked, ready to roll. I never pull a podcast on without one. A lovely Bundaberg. Flags at half-mast, mate. For Langers with his on show, but no doubt we'll pull through. He's going to be sorely missed, but we'll be able to give it to the big fella next week, no doubt. So hopefully he's going all right up there in Collinsville or Port Douglas or Mission Beach or wherever he turns up. But the boys travel around a fair bit, so mate. No, been good. Been a good week. Back home, back on the station. Same old shit, mate. Cows ruin things daily, so that's been sort of on the cards. So, glad for another week of not having to watch the men get folded and watch the women triumph. So, good week to be a Bronco supporter.
Absolutely glorious change of events, really.
Yeah.
I can definitely say I'm enjoying it a lot more. Hopefully we can get the winning feeling on both sides next year. So, well, we might as well roll into it, eh?
Righto, mate.
Get into the preview. So, Thoroughbreds, as you may or may not be aware, the women's travelled to Seabus Super Stadium on the weekend and took part of a doubleheader. They were the opening act up against the Sharkies down there. Half time, 10-6 to us. Second half, 10-all, with a glorious, beautiful full-time score of 20-16. Broncos win, with the ever-reliable Chelsea Lenarduzzi crashing over in the 69th minute.
Chelsea Lenarduzzi.
Last play. Mate, what a doozy, Lenarduzzi. Holy, I was pumped and on the absolute edge of my seat and then off it when she crossed. It was glorious, mate. And that was a great... I'll go through the stats later, but I'll get your take on it first. But it was a really gritty win up against a really trying opponent, and it was fucking beautiful. What are your thoughts?
Britto, it was a good game. This was just a good game of rugby league football. Two top-of-the-table teams. Sharks obviously coming back. We said that was going to happen. They were going to be embarrassed by the way they played against the Roosters, and they really turned it on. It was gritty. There was some moments of brilliance. It really did have everything. It went right down to the wire, obviously. There's both teams capitalised on just little tiny moments of defensive lapses, but there was only those tiny moments that led to tries. Like it was a really gritty effort. Like Chelsea Lenarduzzi, mate, that like her first offload led to the first try. So Romy Titzel is, she should be teaching our bloke second rowers a bit, actually, about getting involved and throwing a 20-metre cutout pass to the winger on the fly. So
absolute piss missile out the stadium.
Yeah, and it was brilliant, mate. I think that there's a lot to take away from this. The grit is something that we're definitely going to need. There's only another round until we move into finals. So it was a final style game, I thought.
Yep.
And the grit really shone through. So I think that's really going to help us, a game like that, moving forward. I think the thing that I took away that is going to be a real salvo across the bow the rest of the competition is the Gal Broughton Hayley Maddock combination on those sweep plays. They are so fast, running the ball two hands to the line before they shift to each other. Like they stripped them. Like Julie Robinson missed a try that would have put us in front earlier, just from a great bit of defence where the winger come across and slapped a hand and the ball just fell out at the last second. But we stripped them that edge because those two girls just were hitting the ball flat. It was so good to see. I think those sweeping lines are going to cause real havoc for the rest of the comp. Like they really need to get on because they're such running threats as it is, and then once they engage their defender, send it on. It's slick to watch, and it's really, once again we're seeing that professional era style play sort of starting to shine through now that the girls have been, really full on for this game for a couple of years now. And Keely Joseph, mate, say no more. She just tightens that middle up. And in that last couple of plays before Chelsea scored the winning try, she come up with a great run and a quick play the ball that almost saw Romy put her winger away again on that side, but, it was just a great tackle. So, Keely Joseph, she's got to win player of the competition this year, I think. It should. If there's a prize for most solid middle in the comp, she's got to win it because she's so good. And one more going from last week's chat with the dummy passes and carrying the ball in two hands. Once again, the girls got up 18-9 with dummies, mate. So, they're taking that ball to the line, and I'm going to keep dying on this hill where I think that's a big difference in our game, is that we're making the defence think. And you can see that when we did strip them those couple of times. Once we didn't get the result, and the second time we did. Yep. We could have quite easily won that game by 8 or 10, but mate, so happy for them. Like that form that we've been seeing against another competition leader. I think it's going to be very interesting coming finals time if we can keep that top 2 spot and get a second chance.
Mate, I'm backing us in to maybe get the minor premiership. It will come down to points difference, I reckon. I think the Roosters and ourselves are all but Garen. I won't go too early, but it looks like we'll set up some 2 points this weekend. So, and the Knights potentially as well. I'm not too sold on that one. I don't know what's going on. The Knights did have a solid showing, but I think the Cowboys who they come up against this weekend have actually been maybe a little bit of the dark horse and maybe potentially a little bit unlucky to not be in the conversation for the top 4. Just talking about how you Gail Broughton, Hayley Maddock. Gail obviously scored that try, and Hayley was sniffing. They were worried about her, didn't worry about Gail. Gail slipped through, sort of thing. Last week, I know Langers said that Upton, she used to be with the Broncos, and it would have been good to see her still there and whatnot. What do you reckon about the Hayley pushing for a kangaroo jersey?
Mate,
kangaroo jersey.
She has to be in the conversation, doesn't she? She's got that sort of KP, Reece Walsh sort of speed around the back. That's, Tamika's obviously the incumbent, but she's not in the squad. I don't know nothing.
Mate, once again on the weekend, Hayley goes 2-2 for line break assists and try assists.
Yeah.
Romy obviously has 1-1 with her efforts as well, but she is consistently setting them up for either line breaks or try assists, and a big reason why we've scored the most points in the competition. And just another shout out to Thoroughbreds. The women only have to score 8 more points, and they'll be the first NRLW team to score 1,000 competition points. Now I'm pretty sure that includes everything, so like finals and whatnot, and not just the regular season. But we'll be checking that stat and releasing it if we do cross that milestone on the socials. I think Hayley's a big shout to get a call up for a rep jersey.
Definitely,
especially over in Vegas.
Oh yeah, send her, please.
Yeah, please.
And like you said, she's been 2 for 2 line break assists and try assists. Like, there's going to be a game where she's going to dummy and run, and it's going to completely strip them. She nearly could have done it in that last game. I thought a couple
Yep.
of times there, um, just because of that, how quick they shifted that ball. That you know, it. Yeah, so I think you're right on the money there, mate. If Tamika goes down, I know who I'd be throwing in.
Yeah, 100%. Big shout out to Bree Clark as well.
Oh,
The shoulder of consequence.
ding.
Beautiful, beautiful hit late there, just to put her. I forget who it was. Put her on her ass anyway. Holy.
Yeah,
Um,
friend of the show.
so-
Friend of the show.
yeah, friend of the show. Anyway, I'll roll through some stats. It actually doesn't look very pretty
No.
when it comes down to it. It's sort of we didn't really win. We won the offloads, which was a big carry into getting the win. We were even in line breaks with 5 apiece. But other than that, we lost the possession 54% to 46%. Completion rate 84% to the Sharks, 67%
Yeah.
to the women there. Interesting enough, though, we got 34 chances with the ball, and the Sharkies only got 32. Sorry, so they just obviously they camped down on our end there. That's another big shout out too, and probably a real shot across the bow of the rest of the competition. Don't let us in your 20.
Yeah.
Because we will potentially score every time. I did write down there, I think it was with 5 minutes to go, the Broncos had been tackled 8 times in the opposition 20, and the Sharks had been tackled 42 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So really we shouldn't have won that game.
No, not with that sort of possession stats, not
No.
with the completion stats, but that's what I mean about a good hit out for the finals is that
Yeah.
if you can defend those mistakes, it's going to go a hell of a long way in trying to lift that trophy at the end of the year.
Yeah, and I think the big worry I guess we have is the fact we didn't beat the Roosters in the regular season. Chances are we're going to come up against them. Is it first v second in the women's? I'm not sure how it goes.
How it works. I highly doubt they'd make them play each other.
Yeah, you think it's first v four, second v third. How they go. So we're potentially going to line up against the Knights.
Yeah.
Depending on how this weekend goes. So, moving on to tackles, we got beaten there as well with effective tackles 88% to 86%. Not a huge difference, but we still got beaten. Tackles made, Sharkies only tackled us 274. We had to do 286. 2 sets more. What else was there? Ineffective was good. We only 7 ineffective, so we were making the tackles, which was great. And then the big one, I guess, was the errors, which is the real reason why it was a lucky get out of jail, because 12 errors, pure errors, with 9 handling errors on top of that, and the Sharks went 8 and 8.
Yeah.
So huge difference there. Good discipline, 3 penalties conceded to 7. So that probably saved our bacon a bit there as well. So no, it was a beautiful game. Keely Joseph, 48 tackles again. Just
an animal.
Just an absolute animal. I think I've got another little stat down here for her as well. So Keely Joseph, 48 tackles. Talia Holmes, 32 tackles for the Sharks. Julia Robinson, for a very quiet night, ran for 189 meters.
Yeah.
Still topped the the meters. Anessa Biddle, 182. And then line breaks, Julia Robinson and Casey Staples. Now, I've got here. Yeah, you've already mentioned Chelsea's first offload there led to the Walker try. Beautiful piece of play there. The post-contact meter queen was Julia Robinson with 69. Chelsea wasn't too far behind. She was on 41. And then Lafayette to Fido, 40 metres.
Yeah.
So they did well. In the defence, so shout out to Destiny Brill, 26 and 0 missed. Great effort off the bench. Sissoko, 6 and 0 missed. Did Sissoko go to the wing? Is that who went out? And then Romy went to centre?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. But yeah,
I think pretty sure, Lavinia Girl come into the middle and then they pushed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they ended up.
Yeah. Well, she's 6 and 0, which was great. Keely Joseph, with that 48 that she scored, she only did 3 misses. Lavina then, 33 and 5. She, pocket rocket, is...
Yeah.
I love watching her play. Her effort in defence and even in attack is just ridiculous for a little girl. So that was good.
I liken her to like Ray Stone.
Yeah.
Just a hard head, not going to let you down, going to do like not a big body, but she's going to do that job for you in the middle every single time. And once again, there's the sort of players, if you're going to build a comp-winning team, it's exactly what you need, because they're not going to, they're just going to draw up that middle and they're quick.
And I did notice one thing. When she's at marker, she does not quit.
No.
She is ready. Yeah. She's looking wherever you go. No, she's good at marker. Bree Clark went 29 with 1 missed. And I guess, I don't know, the Sharks must have obviously had a game plan to shut Julia down. Because she went 1 and 1. So she wasn't getting a lot of action. But I have got written here, so she's got the luxury of having Melly inside her, right?
Yep.
So Melly went 5 with 1 missed. So, and you see Melly obviously get up. She a good line speed, shuts it down before it even gets out to Julia. So she's got that, I guess, before. And then on the other side, Shanae went 100% as well when she moved out to the wing, and Romy went into the centres, who went 21 and 4 missed.
Yeah.
So, that defence, that line speed and getting up and shutting the play down just relieves so much pressure for the outside girls there.
And the only trouble that Julia had was with the high ball. And,
yes.
isolated out there. They were great kicks and, great chases, but, something she's going to have to be wary of, because the rest of the comp's going to see that. But both times she was just isolated, and the other player had the momentum. So no doubt they're going to work on that, try and get a blocker in there, or try and give her some support around that ball. But that's the only thing that I've seen in her game that you could even half mark down, and you can't even really mark it down, because it's pretty hard to be standing there under the ball when everyone else has got the run on you. So
no, she held her nerve and she gave it a good crack, that's for sure. Errors, shout out to Hayley Maddock, Gail Broughton, Brianna Clark, Maria Denman, Keely Joseph, Tafita Lafale, and Aneta Claudia Nualusa. 0 errors.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, you've got a playmaker in you. You've got your
fullback.
You've got your fullback in there who's on an absolute burner when it comes to shifting the ball around.
Yeah.
You've got a couple of forwards in there who'll be getting gassed and knocked around and whatnot with the amount of defence we had to do, and just 0 errors.
Yeah.
So well done, Scotty Prince. Stronger, faster, fitter.
Yeah.
Love it.
Didn't he get around it when they to the box?
I thought he was going to break the glass there.
Which you'd love to see. So he's obviously got a tight knit group there, and they're obviously buying into what he's putting down. And that's those backline movements. They've got a bit of Princey about them, where they're running at the line, they're not just shifting early, they're running at the line before they pass. A bit of Princey about that.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said, Princey being Princey, he'll obviously notice that Julia was isolated there for a bit, and he'll shut that down pretty quick. Yeah, he'll shut that down. But any other thoughts, mate?
Not really, mate. I think I think the grit was the big takeaway. We know we can score points. We probably could have scored another 2 there that we just missed, if you know what I mean. So points aren't our issue. It was just good to see that even though we're under the pump, even though we made some errors, we could defend it, and that's what the defence got us the win in the end. We held up. What's her name, Crystal Johnston? We held her up there for a stage when she crashed over in the last 10. So
Yep.
That's the sort of that wins you the game. Like the other stuff's just the icing. So that was great to see.
Yeah, it's that hit and spin of hers is pretty fucking dangerous, isn't it?
Desperate.
Well, out of it, so obviously the unfortunate news, Stacey Waka done for the season.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, lower leg fracture.
Yeah.
So she's done. But interesting, they mentioned that she only had a 1-year deal. But I'm sure that's just because she was coming straight from the Olympics. She didn't know how it was going to go, blah, blah, blah. So hopefully they can renew it. She can have a good off season and be back for next year.
Yeah. Mate, if they'd be mad, unless she's got commitment somewhere else, but they'd be mad not to re-sign her if they can.
Well, they did say that she is signed with Union still. So I don't know how that all plans out, but I mean, yeah. So and then Jasmine Fogavini, so she's still out with a shoulder complaint, from what I can gather. But it's good to know we've got depth there.
Yeah,
with the women still thing. No one in the judiciary, which is good. Everyone's been well behaved. So
there was one tackle that almost, I think it was Bree actually got under one girl and was very lucky that she had some help. Otherwise, she was going to land on her forehead. Like she folded her and got some help, and she didn't end up going above the horizontal. But I was like, oh, that could have went bad.
Might move on to the review. I'll read the team list out, and then I'll note a little opinion that I think we all shared during the weekend when we did see Stacey go down, and just sort of show off our depth, I guess. So we're coming up against the Dragons this weekend. We are travelling up the Queensland Country Bank for another doubleheader. Interesting enough, the last time we did play the Dragons was at a doubleheader, round 9 at Netstrata Stadium. So we got Tegan Berry at fullback up against our Hayley Maddock, Kimberly Hunt up against Julia Robinson, Keely Brown. Also, shout out for the Dragons for having names that I can actually pronounce too.
Yeah.
Up against Melly Hafunga, Bobby Law up against Shanae Sissoko, Alice Gregory up against Lauren Dam. Now that is the interesting. She has been 18th woman for quite a few weeks, just biding her time. She's got the shout out now. She's in. I did think Bree Spreadborough would be making her return to the front, but Lauren, glad to have you back. Tyler King at 5/8 for the Dragons up against Gail Broughton. The halfbacks are then I went and shot myself in the foot there. Rossini McGregor. She's the captain up against Ali Brigginshaw, our captain. In the forwards, the Dragons have Angelina Tia Karanga Katoa, Sophie Clancy, Alex Tunui, Shanae Liddell, Ellie Costa, and Casey Ray up against our Brianna Clark, Jada Ferguson, Annetta Claudia, Nuasala comes onto the run on there, Maria Denman at second row, Romy Tassel and Keely Joseph. At the interchange, Dragons have Zali Hopkins, Jamie Lee Bright, Madison Mulhall and Charlotte Basman up against Destiny Brill, Chelsea Lenarduzzi on the interchange, Lavinia Gould and Tafida Lafeli. And 18th woman, we've got Skylar Adams for us and Steph Hancock for the Dragons there. So the Dragons went down to the Tigers at Leichhardt Oval. First win for the Tigers. It was great to see. Good scenes. Windy, bit of ferocious weather. Bit of holding the ball on the tee for the conversion sort of stuff. We marched on with a 6-game win streak, and we're looking to clinch the minor premiership. All teams in the top 8 should score wins this week, so it will be on points that the top 3 will be decided potentially. So Roosters, ourselves, and Sharks all combined at the top there. Tail of the tape against the Dragons. They're 9th, we're 2nd. In the head-to-head ranks, they've only won 1 out of the 7 with 0 draws. Completion rate, in this part of the season, they're completing at 74%. We're completing at 72%. Seems to be a tale of Broncos teams to
obviously
not worry about it.
We completed at 80-something% with the men's getting beaten by 50, so don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. But we do have them just in tackle efficiency by 0.2, so 85.3 up against 85.1. We're on a 75% winning for this year, up against 25% for the Dragons. And at this venue, we are another venue where we are a 100% clean sheet.
Yeah.
Dragons have 50% going down once in their 2 visits. Like I said, round 9, Net Strata Stadium was our last meeting when it was a 46-12 win for us. Now, interesting enough, the possession there was 59% to us, and we still won 46-12.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a gross one. Completion rate was 74% for the Dragons, but we had 40 sets up against their 27.
Yeah.
In that game. Tackle efficiency, the Dragons were tackling at 83%. We were at 80%. They have 1 win out of their last 5, which was against the Eels. And we are 5-6 on the trot, looking for our 7th.
Let's go. Mate,
Let's go.
I was the same as you. When we were looking at the team list, I was searching for Bree Spread's name, thinking that she was going to be in, and then I see Lauren Dam come in, but then actually went and had a look at it. She's played 5 times this year for 2 tries. She had 3 line breaks and 4 tackle breaks, and she's got 82.9% tackle efficiency. In her whole career, she's played 17 games for 9 tries. So, what shock horror! Absolute bullheads out the bush don't know what they're doing, and they put the exact right person in there. So, no doubt she'll do a good job, mate, and I can't wait to get up there and give them a pumping.
Yeah, no, I will do a quick shout out to Bree though. She's 100%. Anyone else gets injured, Bree must be struggling.
Yeah.
She's done in the Q Cup there. She's had 8 appearances. She scored 6 tries. Tackle breaks 50 in 8 games. Line breaks 7. Tackle defense, she's at 84.2%. She's made 181 with 34 missed. She's averaging 161 run meters.
Jesus.
And I was like, oh, she must obviously be playing on the wing or something like that. No, they've got her playing centre. Then she went to second row. And then from then on in, she's been playing lock. And it's not like the Capras have been having an absolutely great season. They've had 2 wins this year.
Yeah.
So she's done all that in a losing team.
Yeah.
So Bree,
weapon,
mate, just stay patient.
Yeah.
you're a first grader in waiting.
You might make the Broncos team, but if you're not playing for Queensland, there's something desperately wrong.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to keep an eye on Bree.
Follow us, Bree. We love you.
Yeah, bloody oath. Yeah. So that's the review. I mean, I don't really know what else to say about it. I'm expecting. I hope they don't get complacent.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Like, I think we have locked in our spot in the finals. So hopefully that doesn't sort of get the girls complacent, but I don't think it will. I think it'll be a fairly good training run. Princey will know that going into the finals, that this is a great chance to just iron out any of them cobwebs that he can see, because then it's really is the business side of the season after next weekend.
Yeah, mate, I'm with you. I was sort of worried about the same thing, whether there would be some complacency coming in, going for our 7th win, but I think our start of the season might rule that out, where we were going like dog shit, so I don't think they'd want to go back to that. Yeah, and like you said, you can't take them too lightly at all, but, it might be a chance to try those plays that you want to try, especially if we're lucky enough to get a dry track down there.
Yep.
We might see some Hayley Maddock brilliance. Melee's been relatively quiet for the last couple of games, so I would hate to be defending against her this weekend. She'll be going down for 2+ on my bets anyway. So, yeah, mate, it's going to be, like you said, if the complacency's not in there, I think we need to do a job on them to So we want to we want to stamp our authority and say, no, we're done now. We've played like in the last 6 weeks, we've played nearly all top 4 teams pretty much around and round and roundabout. So it's time, if we can get on top of them early to really stamp our authority.
Yeah, 100%. I said it last week and I'll say it again this week. I love when Melee takes a run. She just looks like she's ready for the physical contact.
Yeah.
She's like just smiling the entire way while she gets into it. And then and then the same with Julia. She runs with such tenacity.
Yeah.
I'd hate to be standing in front of her. So, very good. All right. Well, that's happening on Saturday at 1:30 p.m.
Yep.
So if you're not up in Townsville, turn the telly on and get around it. Bit of general league chat before we throw to the Gronk. We've got friends down here at the moment. Their daughter made the North Queensland Rugby League girls under 12s, I think it is.
Well,
so it was great. She's a great little player. Plays with brothers up there in Townsville. Scored a try. Unfortunately, she did hurt her ankle. I think it was like the second or third last game. But she tried to soldier on the next day, but just she succumbed to it, I guess. But it's great. Shout out to Romy Tizell. So she's a Tully girl. She presented the girls' jerseys to them. And she gave them the good speech about how this opportunity wasn't around when she was their age, and take it by both hands, take it serious, and all that sort of stuff. Mate, I think you've got some strong opinions on it, but I think we're about to see the women's game go to that next level in the grassroots. What do you reckon?
Mate, I'm with you 100%. Like, I think we've seen it in the last 2 years how far the women's game has come. It's by far the most entertaining women's sport to watch. Like, and that might be a biased rugby league fans, but rugby sevens is okay, whatever. Soccer's soccer. You can leave that shit at home anyway. But I mean, like, just the physicality alone, and like what we're starting to see now with the slickness of the full-time coaching, full-time rugby league players, and having all of these players, like we're saying with Brees Bredborough, they're sitting in the wings, putting pressure on these positions. So, they're performing every week. So, and like you said, now the next transition is that grassroots level of bringing it up. And, both you and I have got daughters, and it's quite exciting that that's going to be an option for them going forward. And it wasn't even an option 5 years ago, really, to when they're actually ready to probably start going into under 10s or 12s or something and actually having a crack, to it being nearly a national competition if everything runs well. So, mate, I'm really excited. I think we've got the perfect administrators at the moment. Volandi's at the helm. I just think that the women's game is just about to explode, like you said, at the grassroots level. The only thing we need, and I know it's hard, but we need the women to get their girls to go and watch the girls when they're playing, because the crowd numbers is what's going to determine how long this can be professional for, because the TV ratings would probably be all right, but I mean, we've got to get some bums on seats in those stands. I was pretty disappointed actually at the Broncos Sharks game. There was no one there, and this is, as much as we love the game, but we need to rely on our female compatriots that want, we want women's sport to grow. We need you to go to the games. Buy a ticket, take your girls out there, take your nieces, take your cousins, I don't care. Take them to a couple of games. It'll make all the difference going down the track. So, mate, hopefully we can be coast-wise somewhere where I can take my girls to one, because we're out bush and we don't see any sport, let alone women's, and I think that I can just imagine their faces light up when they can see ladies smacking into each other when they only watch Dad on the lawn of an afternoon. So, but that's the only thing, mate. That's the next step that as a sport needs to take. We need to get bums on seats, and that's, there's a lot of. I agree with you. You've said it all along that why aren't these games before the game before a men's game? So you're dribbling in, you're paying more on your ticket, but you're getting 2 games for one. So anyway, there's a lot to come through it, but yeah, that's the next step, mate. But exciting time.
Mate, that was a glorious call to arms, if ever I've heard one. But you're 100% right. Like I know that there's some scheduling. Obviously, when you've got an uneven amount of teams with the 10 for the women, and then we've got the 17 for the men, it's scheduling and whatever. But we've seen instances already this year where Cowboys or Cowgirls, as they should be called, played at 11:30 on the same day that the men played in the afternoon.
Yeah,
and that's in Townsville, which is people, like you've said, travel to the town to watch the Cowboys. They will pay a little bit extra to go and see 2 games of footy. They're not driving all that way just to, if they can watch 160 minutes of footy, they'll watch 160 minutes of footy. So
especially somewhere like Townsville. That's like a no-brainer to me. Like Townsville.
That's why the double header in Gold Coast shocked me. Why was there not more people there?
Yeah,
but anyway,
a
little bit of shade at the Frontline podcast for the Titans. They ripped into the Townsville people for not supporting their team on that round that I was talking about, and they show out something like that. So,
anyway. And then is there a chance to go a bit more regional with the women's game? Set it up on big weekends. Mount Isa Rodeo. Imagine Mount Isa Rodeo weekend having an NRL game in Mount Isa or something. Shit like that. It sounds silly, but you're getting 1,000 people maybe in the Gold Coast. Why not get 2,000 or 3,000 somewhere else? You know what I mean? So
go to Darwin, do a magic round for the women in Darwin, mate.
Yeah,
it'd be huge.
Cairns, Mackay, all these. Anyway, and I'm sure there's places in New South out west too, like Central Stadium and all that.
Moree would be able to do one. Wagga Wagga.
Well, especially where it is going to be a spectacle. People away from the major centres are starving for live sport. So there's got to be some avenues to sort of start getting that grassroots. Anyway, I know I'd go if it was closer.
100%. What'd you think of the men's finals, mate? You want to do a quick recap on that,
mate? I think it's honestly, it's who's playing for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, okay.
From what I've seen, Penrith's first half, and then Storm's second half. You match that shit up, it'd be Clash of the Titans sort of shit. So
yeah,
I think that's a grand final we deserve, and if we get anything else, we're going to be disappointed because either one of them teams against any of the others is going to be a fucking murder unless something changes. But mate, they're just so good, so clinical. They look bigger, stronger, faster. Yeah, it's. I think it's a game in 2 for the premiership, but I did like how the Cowboys gritted that out, especially against a pretty a flowery sort of a Knights team. I didn't mind how the Cows done that, and I think they've definitely got the talent to be a thorn in people's side. So can the Eagles to a degree if Tommy is fit. Tommy's their X factor. We've seen that's how Curler scored the try that ended up winning the game. I don't think he can carry him to beat Penrith or Melbourne. And then the Roosters, mate, they just got hurt all at the wrong fucking time. If the Roosters had Cheese and Sammy Walker, I think they're right in the conversation because, you put all those sort of players in a final situation. Tedesco, Manu, Crichton, Cheese, Walker, Keary, blah, the salary bloody sombrero. They could have been really, really, hitting hard at the end of this year. But I can't see it. Like, you take a number 7 out of any team at the moment, you take Jerome Hughes or Cleary out of those top 2 teams, they're in the same league. So, I think that's what's going to hold the Roosters back. But, this weekend's game's still going to be fucking great footy.
Oh,
But you've got to remember both of them teams that win have got to go, yeah, we won. Oh, fuck, now it's Penrith and Melbourne. It's like, yeah.
It'll be a Simpson meme all over again.
Yeah.
Remove the stone.
Mate, there's some really good footy, and, it definitely... You can say what you want. You can nearly throw any team in there that first week of finals. That's just a completely different game in that, everyone steps up, everyone's running harder, everyone's tackling harder. The refs put the fucking whistle away, which was just meant to watch. Like, let the boys sort it out. Yeah, so, but I still think, mate, I think it's a game in 2, especially with those 2 teams with 2 weeks to think about the next poor victim they got to have. But, I mean, for me, I'd like the Cows and the Eagles to get through, just because they have that little bit something different that could, shake those big fellas up and at least give them a good test run. Like, they could both get pumped by 40, but, I mean...
Yeah.
Tommy Turbo and Scotty Drink, they're just that little bit out of the box, and if they have a really good night, they can just sort of upset the apple cart a little bit with all this stuff, structured defence. So they'd be my 2 picks to hopefully get through, but good luck. Like, good fucking luck. And I can't wait. If we get the Penrith Storm Grand Final and they're all not injured, that's going to be a fucking belter.
It's going to be so good. I feel sorry for the Roosters and the Sharks to obviously have to go through what they went through in the first week. However, the Cowboys and Knights and the Dogs and the Eagles gave us finals footy.
Yeah.
It was fucking great to watch. I still think Kalen's out there collecting old mate's ankles from his first or second run. Oh, see you later, mate. Like, Jesus Christ.
Like, that's what he done to a professional rugby league player. What does he does to just some poor cunt off the street?
That was, and I do feel so sorry. And the Gronk did say this in our group chat. How fucked would the Knights be without KP?
Oh,
but how good would the Cows be if they still had KP?
Oh,
like just next level sort of stuff. I do wonder, there is a bit of fuel on the fire about whether he's going to stay at the Knights or whatnot, because I don't know if they can do the premiership thing. Like,
well, they can't. Why can't they recruit someone to give him a hand? It's just it's been years.
But that's the thing. They had Mitchell Pearce.
Yeah, I know.
Like, they've had people there, and this year without a set halfback and a 5'8" and a hooker, they made it all the way to the top 8.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't think it's the roster.
Gamble didn't get hurt, maybe, but it still feels like, though, that's the only person that's going to score their points, create their points. So
he tried so hard.
He's still a gun. Like, he quite easily could be the Maroons fullback next year, and no one would even bat an eyelid. Like, if Reece doesn't come out swinging.
That's it. And then the Bulldogs Manly game was everything I imagined it was going to be. It was just great to watch. It was probably good because they weren't my teams. And I just got to sit back and relax and watch footy. But yeah, it was great, and I think we're going to get another 2 great games this weekend. I think it'll be a battle. And then I think they go on to get murdered.
Yep.
And like you said, we get the grand final that we deserve. So, and I really hope that both teams are 100% fit.
Yeah.
Like, 80 minutes of that, yes please.
Oh,
it's not my team, but yes please. Like, rugby league will be the winner there, 100%.
If we get that grand final and they're all not hurt, it could be a 4-2 fucking grand final. Like, they are so good, such good defensive teams, and so, the coaches will be like, fucking, meme with that fucking, all those numbers going back past all my like, they're both just, like, how do we stop this, but how do we exploit that, and blah, 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 blah. It'll be, and you got Cleary gotten beaten, that's already been beaten by the Storm, and then you got Bellamy going, no, we're not letting them fucking do that again. Oh,
yeah,
come on,
100%. Mate, Bellamy, it'll be great. It'll be Hughes up against Cleary, and bloke in a bar keeps saying that Hughes is slept on when it comes to one of the great number 7s, and this could very well be his chance to cement that. So, it'll be good. It'll be great.
In that
what's that, sorry?
For Jerome Hughes, insane year.
Oh,
Like to take him to a minor premiership, and he didn't have Munster, and then he didn't have bloody Grant for a period when he got hurt, and then through Origin.
and they've only just started using Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson's only not long been bloody playing again. Like, Christ. Yep. And then they had all that centre debacle where they couldn't find one, and then Jack Howarth comes from the cloud. He's like second best centre in the fucking comp now. I was like, God, fuck.
Xavier Coates had his long stint on the sideline.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, it should be good. Should be a great game. Do we want to listen to a bit of Gronk?
We do. Go on, hit me.
Or we don't.
Well, he hasn't got any fucking Bronco stuff, does he? Oh, no.
He's done well. He's done well. All right, here he is.
Sometimes you might be flicking through socials or something, you'll see a few clips, or you might be listening to Rogan, and he might have someone on like Brian Cox or Jordan Peterson or Sam Harris, Elon Musk, proper deep thinkers. Anyway, they're rambling on there, and you're picking up bits and pieces, but fucking a lot of what they're saying is just going right over your head, because intellectually they're on a different wavelength to you. Well, with that in mind, I thought I could come on here this week and talk about the rigours and the toughness it takes to play finals footy and all that, but you cunts wouldn't have a clue what I was talking about. So sorry about the shortened segment this week, boys, but that's just how it is. Shout out to Chelsea Lanaducci. Got to catch the Bronx women's game on the weekend. Massive fan, and she well deserved that match winner. So yeah, shout out. Week 2, baby. Cowboys, let's go.
What a dickhead.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, he can take it. Good on him. They did win, and fuck me dead. But I'd take him more seriously if he'd back him. Like, he's got this dude he just does not fucking back him. Like, but yeah, all credit where credit's due. We honestly, one thing that stood out to me is if we turned up how we'd been turning up for the last 6 weeks, every single one of them finals teams would have fucking flogged us by 30.
Oh, mate.
Wouldn't they? Like, it's just, that's what the frustrating thing is that us on our best are probably the only team that can put it to Penrith and Melbourne. Us at our worst, they all, imagine what Penrith would have done to us.
Oh.
That's what all was going through my mind. Is like, maybe this is a good thing.
There's a potential clean-out coming from the media storm if that ever happened. Holy shit. It would have been... You think social media at the moment's bad, Thoroughbreds getting on there trying to back your team. Fuck, man. Would have been absolutely horrendous. But anyway, like I've said in the last episode, once the finals are done, we'll do a full sort of review.
Yeah.
We'll try and give our opinions as best as what we can. Some of us will go hard in the paint, probably. I don't know, but I know I'll be sort of fence sitting a little bit and just hoping that the boys pull through and have a good off season. And I see a couple of them are over in London at the moment, putting the old Instagram posts up and whatnot. Hopefully they're having a relaxing time and recalibrating.
Hopefully they're enjoying themselves, and hopefully someone is sitting at Red Hill ready to beat the fuck out of them all the way to the first game next year. So
yeah. Did you hear about Wayne?
Mm.
So obviously the Dolphins, they missed out on the finals there. They played, I think, when did they play Newcastle on the Sunday?
Yeah.
Well, on the Wednesday, he had a meeting with the Rabbits players, and apparently he was pretty fucking brutal.
Good.
There was no officials, there was no upper management, it was just players. And he gave his assessment, said it wasn't good enough. So be ready for when you get back into the pre-season. So it's something I'd never want to hear come out of his mouth, Robbo's mouth, or Bellamy's mouth.
Be like Grandad telling you he's disappointed in you. Like, like, I'm not even mad, boy. I'm just disappointed. Oh, fuck.
Please be mad.
Please be mad. Yeah. Please. Don't do this to me, Grandad. Fuck. Imagine the head noise of those boys, though. Like, they might be going, like, fucking Mauritius or one of these beautiful fucking places for a holiday post-season. And always in the back of the head will be Wayne going, I'm fucking disappointed in you. Like, oh, God.
Especially the players that haven't been on the Wayne before.
Sure.
All right, well, we'll get into some extracurricular. Wrap this bad boy up. Mate, you had a win on the weekend.
Yeah. Oh, for the tipping, eventually.
Yeah. Eventually. You and Langers there just going neck for neck. Trying to streak away from the rest of us.
Just can't get him, can I? I just can't fucking get him. But anyway, I suppose that's what happens when you tip the same. But
yeah, that's
it. Mate, we'll take it.
That's it. Well, I ended up with 3. I actually went the Dogs. I didn't think that they.
That was a smart play, though. To be fair.
Yeah, it was nearly there. I was like, ooh, and the Gronk, he missed the Knights, which again, I mean, it's not his team, but
yeah, he was very close
to
getting
play.
So.
Yeah, that's it. So the tipping at the moment, it looks like it's Langer's on top with 8 wins. You're in second there with 6. Gronk's on 5, and I've only got 2. We're not doing the tipping averages at the moment because obviously we're in the finals. But yeah, we'll move on to this weekend. Now I was going to do the score, but do you want to still do a score?
Oh, if the boys have put a score in or a margin at least.
Yeah, they've got their scores here. I'm pretty sure they're both. I just haven't updated it, but give me a second on that one.
Give me a
Langers hasn't sent his in, so
no,
we'll skip that for this week. But I'll read them out and I'll get yours. So I think I know what you're looking at anyway. Interesting enough, the Gronk and Langers are going the exact same. So they've gone Sharks, Sea Eagles. But I'm actually going Cowboys, Sea Eagles.
Yeah.
So how do you see it?
Well, now you got me really worried if you're going the Cows, the Eagles, because that's what I'm going. But no.
Well, that's
that's what I'm going. Mate, I can't. I've been terrible tipping all year, but I've been not the worst. But I mean, I reckon the Sharks have got 0 fucking confidence. Like the poor bastards have fucking shit the bed at every turn in finals. Nico is just the poor. Like, I would give that poor bastard a fucking holiday. Like, they just put so much pressure on him for no fucking reason. And he played like shit, and now they're all fucking. I heard a couple of people on 360 say, "Oh, they should drop him and bring Atkinson." And it's like, wow, you are fucking awful. But you know, and the Cows are the opposite, mate. They're going to be riding high after a good win at home. The only thing is they don't travel very well. So, and they didn't travel well because they missed their fucking. They didn't book a flight. So, really well done
on that one.
Seeing that on the fucking Knighted is like, wow. Mind you, the Knighted did really have a salty bitch moment there when they were carrying on about that. But I really had to rate what they were saying. Because fuck me dead, book a fucking flight,
mate. That should have been booked the night of.
Bro, it should have been
doing
3 weeks ago, even though if you didn't fucking make it. Like, God.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Anyway, so that, you know, but it is the Cowboys, so we give them that. But, you know, that's the sort of shit that might galvanise the group. You never know. But, yeah, I think the Cows do them, mate. I just think they've got too much confidence. And then I've got the Eagles winning too.
Yeah.
Roosters have got a big problem when they don't have a hooker or a half. It's, you know, That's hard on any team. I don't care fuck who you are. You take Mitch Kenny and Cleary, you take out Grant and Hughes.
Yep.
No team's the same. Like, they're the most creative positions on the field. Both are the first touches of every play. So, you can't underestimate how big that is. They keep saying they're going to throw Joey Manu into 6. I don't know. I don't know. I'd rather put Connor Watson at 6.
Yeah.
If I anything, Keary and Watson in the halves, and just let him be. He's the dirty pirate himself. Just let him run around and fucking create havoc. And they say, oh, you're going to have to play bigger minutes, but fuck me, he plays in the middle. He's going to see a lot less traffic at 6. But anyway, and then that keeps Manu out in the centres where he can do his damage and roam around the field. So anyway, but it'll be interesting to see what they're going to come up with, because that poor little fellow Sandon Smith or whatever that they threw in at the deep end. It's like, here you go, son. Have a game against Cleary as your first fucking game, and oh, by the way, it's a fucking top 4 finals game. Good luck.
I do feel sorry for him there. Like, at the end of the day, you really should just plug the positions that are missing and not move anyone else around. But fuck, it's hard. Finals footy,
So
just the perfect storm at the exact wrong time to have that happen to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Poor
And then
bastards.
all the people saying that Manu's got to go to 6. It's like, okay, well, who do you put at centre? And because whoever you put at centre, they're going to fucking target that poor bastard for the rest of his fucking days. Like, whereas Connor Watson, at least, he's been playing in the middle this year. He knows how to tackle a big.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Poor bastard. It'd be so heartbreaking to get right into the top 3, and then lose your 2 main players, like your 2 creatives coming into the final. So anyway, but fuck the Roosters and their salary sombrero. So yeah,
that's it.
The
Couldn't
Eagles.
happen to a better team. Bit cheeky on the United boys, considering the NRL had to fly them up for that game too. So might want to calm down there.
Salty bitch period, a bit lingering for the United lads.
It didn't help that Sean got food poisoning in the CBD on his way home.
No.
Bastard. Yeah, he had a...
Didn't go the rock, paper, scissors or something stupid like that,
Nah,
did
he got a breakfast burrito. It just ran straight
It's
through
only,
him.
well, that's what you get for going to the Ampol, Shawnee, instead of going to pay some decent money for a good brekkie.
Yeah, you tight ass. You guys are sponsored now, so get a decent feed.
Yeah.
Righto, well, we'll move on to the women's tipping. And myself and Langers took home a crown, which was good. We all missed the Dragons. We didn't see that one coming. It was a good effort by the Tigers. Gronk dropped the Sharks. He thought that they could put it over our Broncos there. And then you dropped the Titans.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a disappointing show too.
It was, yeah.
Considering it was the grand final rematch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder what's going on. What is the from what I've heard, the Titans coach, she's a bit of a hard nose. So I just wonder if she's a bit of a Madge Maguire sort of thing, and maybe a bit too tough. Yeah, too tough, too quick, and then doesn't get a chance for them to get over it.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we got the rest. So we're starting to swamp you on the leaderboard, mate.
Yeah, mate. I know. You're coming, but I've got you now.
We got Langers on top, and the only reason that he's made it on top is because of his average per round of 3.25. You're in second there with the same amount of wins of 4, but you're on a 3.13 tipping average. I'm in third there on 3 wins, Gronk on 2. So we'll move on to how we see it. I've got Gronk has gone... Yeah, Langers and Gronk have gone the exact same again. So they've gone Sharks, Broncos, Knights, Titans and Roosters. I was getting worried that we'd all be picking the exact same, but I've actually gone the Cowboys over the Knights.
Okay.
I know. So I've gone Sharks, Broncos, Cowboys, Titans, Roosters. I know that the Knights had a pretty good hit out against the Titans. I just feel like the Titans were off.
Yeah.
And I just the Cowgirls, they've been playing solid. I don't. And it's the last. They got, if they're not going to make it, it's the last round of the season. Just
At home, too, aren't they?
At home. The Knights have got more to lose than what the Cowboys do.
Can the Cowboys beat the Knights up there again? Ooh,
Ooh.
that'd be solid for the
Well,
body.
if I look at it right, the Cowgirls are on 8 points at the moment with a differential of negative 49. So even if they do win, they potentially won't make the top. Yeah, so I think they're out just on differential because the Knights have a positive 74 differential, so they'd have to absolutely cop a flogging for that to happen. But I mean, weirder things have happened. But yeah, I'll back the Cowboys, mate. What about you?
Mate, I've gone the same as the boys. I've played a straight bat this week. Sharks, Bronx, Knights, Titans, Roosters. Looking... Just thinking the cream might rise for the last game of the season before we hit finals, but no doubt there's going to be an upset in there somewhere, and you're annoying me with your Cowboys tip.
Well, mate, it's either going to come up trumps or I'm going to be dirty.
yeah.
So, alright, no worries. Now, talking about fucking being dirty. Holy shit. We gotta do something about this betting, man.
Our biggest fucking winner has been bet returns.
Yeah.
Like, fucking fails, honestly.
Mate, we've gone out, so obviously we've dropped it down to just four multis this time, and we've gone 2 out of the 4 for one leg fails. And not exactly. I do feel sorry for Langers, but we'll get to that. So my multi on the Panthers v Roosters went down 2 legs out of the 4. I got the Panthers head to head. I didn't get a Cleary anytime. I didn't get a Angus, a Gussie C, but I did get the Taruva, To'o or Tupu anytime. Gronk didn't get anything.
No.
Such another Gronk bet. No Tej Wilton and no Jerome Hughes after he went back to the well.
Yeah. Scored last time, so let's go again.
But then Langers, so he got us to pick. So he got his Murray to Lungy, he got his Fletcher Sharp, and he got over 43.5. Now he threw it to us last week, so he's probably going to be absolutely filthy.
Yeah. Glad he's not here.
Yeah. About whether or not Kyle felt 2+ or just any time. And we convinced him to go 2+. And Kyle went over.
Yep.
And that one, I think it was, what was that one? That was $14.
Yeah.
With just any time, and it pumped it up to $17. But anyway, that's the and then you
not being decisive. Fuck him.
yeah, that's right. It's fucking not our fault, mate. Jesus. But then you got your Sea Eagles 1-12.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Good call. You got your Stephen Crichton, and you missed out on a Tommy Turbo.
Fancy missing out on a Tommy Turbo and a famous Eagles win. Like,
I know.
Jesus
I
Christ.
know. Filthy on that one. And that's, yeah. Anyway, we'll try and move on to this week and see what we can do. So, at the moment, we... and then the road to $1 million, if you were following at home, it was $71,834.25 odds. A $13 bet would have got you $933,845.25.
You know, me and Langers have got fucking 8.5 green ticks. And you've got another 2 and then fucking... Anyway.
Mate, that was...
We're getting closer, mate.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll catch some eyes next season, I reckon. So, leaderboard stays the same. Ringer, Langers, Britto, Gronk. Pretty sad there, mate. Your leg percentage is creeping up. You got 48%.
I know. I'm going up in leg percentage and I still can't win a fucking bet. That's shit.
Your missed money, $526 on one leg fails alone. And then I think if we ran it in that order, so if we ran in the highest amount of money of misbets, which all good gamblers would do, you'd still be in the lead. Then it would be the Gronk, then it would be Langers, and I'd be last.
So a good tip for the thoroughbreds is to put all iterations of our multis on like different ways, so that no matter what happens, one leg fail can't fuck you in the ass.
Mate, just put all our multis on and then just back it back one.
Yeah, back one. Yeah, you know when you're tightening up a D shackle, just all the way on and then back a half.
Just a half turn back, mate. That's all. Mint. But all of that is missed money of $1,514, and we are over negative 330. But always bet responsibly.
Definitely within your means.
Within your means. All right. So moving on. Now, what we've done this week is, because we've only got 2 men's games, we'll sprinkle 2 women's games through there. And because the flavour of this show is Broncos first and then the Cowboys, so that's the order that the women are playing in this season. So we've got the Broncos women's game in there, and we've got the Cowboys women's game as well to go up against it. So I drew the Dragons and Broncos. I've gone a Brisbane Broncos win. And I've got a Bree Clark and a Hayley Maddock anytime. Yeah, and that is giving me $9.75.
Yeah, love it.
So I'm pretty solid on that one. Now, Langers drew the Sharks and the Cowboys. He's actually got a
he went fucking big. Yeah,
he went huge. So he's got a Ronaldo Mulatalo. He's got a Katoa. Then he's got a Kyle Felt, a Talangi, and a Holmes. And over 45.5 total points. And that's getting in $39.25 for those odds. So
get in, son.
Get in there. I think I'll have to check the rules, though, because I think it's only five leg max.
Yeah.
So I might have to dock him one there. Now,
we've only got one bet each, mate.
Yeah, true. We need to get as close to $1 million as we can. The Gronk, he drew the Cowboys and the Knights. Interesting enough, as always, he doesn't back any of his players. He's gone a Tamika Upton, which, to be fair, is a given. And then he's gone a Yasmin Clydesdale after her efforts last weekend. Interesting enough, she's $3.50.
So anytime.
For an anytime. So... and then he's also gone over 40.5 for $8.50 total odds. So
okay,
be interesting to see what happens there. What have you got, mate? You've drawn the Roosters in the Manly game,
mate. I'm sick of having one leg fails, so we're going fucking kitchen sink this weekend. So we're gonna either have 4 red crosses or a big fucking payday. Okay, so first off, I've got Seagulls for the 10.5 start, so that sort of covers you. It's a nice warm up for the fisting that's about to come. I've got a Lehigh Hopewadi, Dom Young, Daniel Tupou. That's an player A, B, or C to combine for 2 tries.
Oh,
so you know.
Yeah, wow.
Yep. I don't hate it.
Yep.
Into a Connor Watson anytime. Connor's in for a big game, in and around the middle. Matt Lodge, Taniela Paseka might just miss him as he nearly scored in that last game. If he would have towed it through instead of diving on it, he probably scores when he charged that ball down. And I'm going back to my boy, Luke Brooks.
Okay.
Luke Brooks anytime. He's 100% win rate in finals. Legend of the game. So,
yep.
The one he put on a platter for Cherry Evans, which was ruined my Civi bet the other week. I think he might throw the dummy this time and run straight through. So this is a big one. I know it's a big one, but thoroughbreds, I've been so close for a long time. This is the one to get on for your $1 bet.
Nice. What was the second one there? The one that you had the 2+?
Lehigh Hopewadi, Dom Young, Daniel Tupou. I think it was about $1.40 combined.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's getting you $76.50.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? For Manly Seagulls 10.5, and then that A, B, or C for 2. Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah, wow. And I can really this is mental actually. So we've only got the 4 games. Thanks to your monster of a bet, you can throw $4 on that bad boy and still get $900, $95,370.18.
Fuck yeah, Buck. Me and Timmy bringing the fucking shit together. We're sick of these one-leg fails. We're just fucking going swing for fences.
Oh, I love it. All right, well, hopefully follow us along, Thoroughbreds, and hopefully we can get a W.
Hey.
That's us for this episode. Thanks for listening. Head over to the socials. We're on the Facebook, we're on the Instagram, the TikTok, the Spotify, and the YouTube. Like, follow, comment, subscribe, give us some feedback, reach out, slide into our DMs, do all that sort of dirty stuff. We'll bet responsibly. You do it as well. Be a contributor to society. Stay out of one another unless it's consensual. We'll gallop off into the week. Have a good night.
Have a good one, Thoroughbreds. Be good.